This is a city that my grandparents and aunts and uncles loved with every fiber of their being. And I thank you for getting me started on this project. You will not believe what I found out about my family. and I'll be glad to tell any of you any time you want. They've been traced back. My Uncle Jack traced them all the way back to the Revolutionary War in Kentucky and Virginia. So it's a long, rich history of an American family. I was watching a show on the History Channel not long ago, and it was about the Battle of Stalingrad in World War II, the most costly battle in human history. Before that siege of Stalingrad was over, more than 1 million people had died. And the battle began, they said, in the outskirts of the city around the grain storage building. Well, that was logical because they were trying to protect their food supply and because the building made such a good fortress. And I sat up in my chair. That building looked exactly like, even to the little building on top. And I just had this strange chill thinking, if that war had come to our town, this is where we might have made our first and or our last stand. You know, anthropologists use as one of their criteria for when civilization has come to human society when the people start building granaries. And the reason that's a sign of civilization is that people are thinking about the future. They're storing their crops for bad harvest. They're storing the seeds from the good harvest to plant again. And I think that maybe what we're standing in front of is a symbolic connection to all of human history, even to human prehistory. This space around here in the great big circle is full of ghosts for me. I can see them walking back and forth, doing their work. I can see their faces. I can hear their voices. I hope they're here right now. They gave me everything I am. They taught me everything I know. And when I was thinking about what it was I really learned most from growing up with the Blantons in Carrollton, it starts with a story. Across a railroad track was a little pen, probably built originally for horse pen. My grandfather took all of his grandchildren, and any one of us who wanted to do this, he took a calf out of his herd and brought it into town, a newborn calf, and taught us how to raise this calf. My father, my grandfather, my uncles, they taught us how to mix the milk in a bucket with a nipple on it, how often you had to go and feed them, how you had to brush them. Once a week you had to dig out all of the manure and lay a whole fresh layer of straw. I can remember my freshman advisor when I went off to college. I told him, you know, I shoveled a lot of manure to get here. And he looked at me like I just said I'd moved here from the planet Mars. I have an image of him still sitting at a desk somewhere in heaven trying to figure out what I meant by that. But for any of us who took that on, he told us, this is the care of an animal. This is animal husbandry. This is an ancient human art. And if you take it on, you are responsible. If you plan to go to the movies, but that's the time the calf was to be fed, you're to feed the calf. And after the calves were grown, he gave us the option of selling them or putting them into the herd and then selling their offspring. So that's how I got a lot of the money I used to get myself through college. So what I'm thinking is this: what it meant most of all to me growing up as a Blanton in this little circle and the larger circle of Carrollton is this: I learned that work is a joy, and that joy is communal. And the way you work is the way you take everything that was given to you and that created you, and you give it back. You give it back to the people who gave it to you, to your family, to your community, to the planet Earth, and for all I know, to the universe itself. As the Beatles once said, and I don't think anybody would argue with this, in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make. So, friends and family of mine, of my Blanton family. Let's get out there and make something.